welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen, or if you'd like, Super Dave. I'm here to talk about 136 Starduster, a very unique character, a very unique figure all around. So I look forward to getting into that. I have a lot to talk about with this figure because it is one of those characters, figures, toys that kind of irks me a little bit and annoys me a little bit. And I don't get annoyed or irked that often with this brand, but this is a character that does that for me because he has the slightest bit of like content that he appears in. He appears in the G.I. Joe Stars serial, and he had some comic book little mini comics in there. That's the only place he ever appears. He does not appear in any other comics, to my knowledge. Maybe the club covered him, maybe a little bit somewhere. Good morning, 610 Yojo Daddy. How are you today? Thanks for joining me. So yeah, I want to also say thank you to everybody in the chat for joining me today. And thank you, 610 Yojo Daddy, for joining me. This is going to be a really unique video because I don't really like Starduster that much. Besides, good morning, Michael Gene Fleming. Thanks for joining me today. Besides the content of the creator, the character, where the character got started, how the character got started, that's besides the point of the classified figure. And we'll go into the classified figure, but I'm going to go into the history of this character, why I don't like it, why it annoys me, and a lot of this other stuff that has to do with the Stars, G.I. Joe Stars serial, and go over some of that stuff before we get into the classified. So first off, I'm going to go to we're going to go to a different book this time. This is a different book. We're going to be going over 2 or 3 books because I needed to find more information so I could have the accurate picture for you guys of this character, of this figure. So I'm going to a new book to show you guys the Ultimate Guide to G.I. Joe 1982 to 1994, the 3rd edition by Mark Bellomo. So this is where we're going to start our exploration of Starduster. All right. So it says here, this action figure was a mail-away promotional initially solicited from a coupon inserted by Hasbro into Ralston Purina's G.I. Joe Action Stars cereal. Starduster even adorned a box of Action Stars in 1987. After the cereal promotion had run its course, Hasbro Direct itself solicited the action figure in various figure and vehicle inserts for 1987 to 1990, sometimes offering Starduster with a jump jetpack, 1982, sometimes without and often with the Pocket Patrol Pack, 1983. Although this small green 3-figure collector's case shipped with different white-backed G.I. Joe labels on its front. Although Starduster never made an appearance in Marvel Comics or on the Sunbow cartoon, only in animated commercials for the serial. His original was captured in 3 promotional comics randomly packaged inside boxes of G.I. Joe Action Stars cereal, circa 1987. Okay, this is where it gets a little technical with Starduster. It says there are 3 different known variations of Starduster action figures. A kit bashed toy whose body is not unique. It is comprised of a number of different characters' body parts. Although recolored, Starduster always possessed Flash's 1982 head, Flint's 1985 arms, and Roadblock's 1984 legs. Yet there are 3 major variations regarding Starduster's torso and waist piece. Version A, Recondo, 1984, torso and waist piece, 1984 on thigh cam with a jump jetpack, shipped 1987, late 1988. Version B, Duke, 1984 torso, Recondo, 1984 waist, 1988 on thigh, came with a jump jetpack and a pocket patrol pack, shipped in 1988 and sometime in 1989. Version C, Duke, 1984 torso, Iceberg, 1986 waist, with either 1984 or 1988 on thigh, came without a jump jetpack and a pocket patrol pack, shipped in 1989, early 1992. Of the 3 above variations, it appears that version A, the earliest release of the figure with Recondo torso and waist, is the rarest in the 3. Regardless of the version of Stardust that you own, this jetpack trooper is a difficult figure to find in any condition, and with all of his accessories, he is a great pickup for a collector. Uncut samples of Stardust's file card itself may sell for more than 50 to 75 each on the secondary market. His accessories, apart from the optionally included jump jetpack, are rare. Starduster's silver XM76 grenade launcher, Gung Ho, 1983. Starduster's cyan blue-green helmet with a printed black star, see Grunt, 1982, and Starduster's black visor is not the same visor as Thunder's, 1984, as there isn't a nose ding in Starduster's visor. It's similar to the early clear visors of Flash, Grand Slam, and Short Fuse, see 1982. These accessories can sell for 35 to 60 each, depending on the condition. And there is rumor that there is a D variation. I do not know that much about the D variation. I just know that there are people out there claiming there is another version, a D variation. I have a friend that's a big expert on Starduster, and he claims there is a D variation. And he knows this figure inside and out. Good morning, Clement. Thanks for joining us. Hello this morning. All right. So that goes over the figure and all the variations in the history of the figure itself. I could not remember all that information, so I read it from Belomo's book. So now we're going to go into Dan Klingensmith's series of books, Creating G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. This is volume 12. And we're going to get that up for us to look at. All right. Starduster, a lot of color variations for Starduster, and ideations and inputs design-wise to try to come up with this figure. And based on the previous information that I read, it was a figure that was a mail order, and it was added to the G.I. Joe Directs, so you could order it through different promotional programs that had been going on in G.I. Joe through their time from like 85 to 92. You can order it through different direct ordering systems through Hasbro. So let's see what Dan has to say. Alternate names: Chef. Year release, 1985, designed by Ron Rudat. Again, Ron Rudat designed most figures from 82 to 87, with the exception of a handful and some of the vehicle drivers. In 1985, Starduster was offered as a mail-in exclusive through G.I. Joe Action Stars cereal by Ralston Purina. Since he was made up of existing parts, the turnaround time to produce was faster than normal. When Action Stars cereal was discontinued, Starduster was offered as a mail-away through Hasbro's Direct and later sold at the 1983 G.I. Joe convention with a Pocket Patrol pack. So there you go. And there's a little bit of an image there of Action Stars cereal. Now, there was, I believe, 6 variations of the box art on the Action Stars cereal. And I'm going to try to remember all the figures that were on there. I believe there's a Starduster, there's a Duke, I believe there's Gung Ho, I think there's Quick Kick, there may be a Flint, and a Roadblock. I think those are the 6 various box arts of G.I. Joe Stars cereal, and Starduster was on one of those boxes. And it goes over a lot of his equipment, his jetpack, his black visor, his grenade launcher, which was Gung Ho's, and he has a very unique design deco with that teal and yellow or teal and green camouflage deco that is famous for Starduster. So then that covers that. And now we're going to go into a little bit of his file card because there's not a lot of artwork when it comes to the file card. There's a teeny piece of artwork. You can see right there that piece of artwork for Starduster. That is the only artwork that has been done for the character outside of the Stars G.I. Joe Stars serial. Let's see. Okay, so that is all that I need to share with that. And then we're going to go into the comics. So the Purina Action Stars G.I. Joe comics, there were 3 different comics that told the origin of Starduster in the serial that you can get. These are the 3 comics. I'm going to look on there to see if there's any advertisements. You can get dog tags on there, apparently on the back. So these are the 3 variations of the comic to show his origin. So that is the only material that Starduster ever appeared in as far as content. The advertisement of the serial, the animation, and these comics. There may be a club appearance of Starduster in the 2000s, but I'm not 100% on that. So if anybody in the chat is aware of whether he appeared in the club comics, let me know in the chat, and I'll talk about it a little bit. All right, so that is the Action Stars cereal. I have all 3 of them complete set there. So that's that. Then we have the vintage figure. Now I'm going to look at mine to see which version it is based on what Mark Bellomo said in his book. I have a complete one with all the accessories. So mine is probably worth some money. Let's see. So we have, it looks like it's the Recondo body because it has the shirt tucked down, and it looks like the Gung Ho, the Roadblock pants and legs, and it looks like the Airborne arms. And I have the helmet with the stars on it, and the helmet with the little star on there. So I have the rare version of Starduster, and I have the Gung Ho grenade launcher there, silver. Everybody's saying hi in the chat, and I have the rocket pack, the jet pack there. And this is the Flash. I think the Flash, the um, Short Fuse, and Zap Head. I think they Belomo said. And then I have this little tube and this little gun here, which I don't know what that is, but it's in there. So that's the rare version, the first A version. Um, Belomo claims to say that it's the rare version, but I think the D version that my friend talks about is a rare version than this. So this is the one where it was through the serial promotion. So it was the first version of Starduster. All right. So I'm going to put him back in his container because I don't want to lose any of his pieces. Um, so if you have a Starduster and you are questioning whether you have the A, B, C, or even the D version, obviously you can go to 3D Joe's. You can go to the Belomo book. You can do a lot that way to figure out which variation you have. Uh, but all right, so now we talked about the history of Starduster. Now I'm going to go into my a little bit of my disgruntledness when it comes to Starduster. Starduster as a character, because it is so sought after and rare in the community as a collector's piece, that everybody wants a Starduster in their collection, and it's obviously got multiple variations. My friend has all the variations. He's got every version. He's got all the paperwork and everything that you can order, and there's other stuff that came with it, like a hat and this and that, and patches and this and that came with it. He's got all the stuff that goes with it, and he has made it very popular because of a lot of the videos he's done covering all the variations and stuff like that. But because of the content, only the serial ad and those little bitty comics, I don't think the character is that important in the G.I. Joe lore. I don't think it's that big of a character in the grand scheme of G.I. Joe. But because of the rarity of the figure and the rarity of the variations of the figure and the hoopla in trying to get it, for everybody trying to get it in the collection, it has become a much bigger character, much bigger, like rare thing in the community to have in your collection, depending upon the various versions you have. And if you have all versions of the character, it's even more important. So I kind of get a little bit sore about that. I'm like, he barely shows up in anything. There are so many better characters. There's so many better uh, uh, versions of characters that have been in so much more content over the 60 years of this brand, that I'm like, why are we putting Starduster on this pedestal of a character that he doesn't really deserve it, just because of the rare scarcity of the figure and the toy, and so on and so forth. So that is where my thought process for this character comes from, and why I don't really like it. That all that aside, we have now the classified version, and they did a homage to that version, and it's a very fun figure overall. I've seen other people review this, and we're going to get into it right now. So I like this artwork on here. He's up in the air. He's doing his thing. It's very serious business with Starduster. He's not a guy that's fooling around when it comes to doing his job in G.I. Joe. So that's fine. So then we have the target artwork, we have the QR code, and we have the designations. So let's read his designations real quick and see where he lands. He has the Vanguard lightning bolt, so he's the forefront of the battle for freedom against Cobra. Vanguard. He's got the missile launch which is, I believe, launcher, because he has that launcher with him. He also has the a jet. So because he's a rocket soldier, he has the jet. and I believe that is the environmental specialist Air. Uh, and then he has the, um, I think the investigation one. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, he has the recon. So he's a forefront character that goes to the ahead of everybody as the vanguard, and he's reconning in his rocket pack and stuff like that. So then we have the Shooting the Galaxy photography artwork by Matt and Mike. And there's a few cool call outs. We have the star on the helmet, like it shows in the vintage. Tampo there and another tampo there. And then in the background, you see like four fangs chasing after him. Now, this is the third or fourth time that we've seen fangs in the back of packages, and we have not got a fang yet. Typically, if you see a vehicle in the back of a package artwork, we end up getting that vehicle. We have not gotten that vehicle yet. And this was a 2020, I would say 23 figure. No, 24 figure. And we've not got the fang yet. The question is, which is worth more, your complete Starduster or your hardback third edition Belomo guide to G.I. Joe? Oh, well, I would say my Starduster is worth more complete, Michael Gene Fleming. That's a funny one, though. But it's one of those things. I don't really care. I got it because I wanted to have it for my collection. I just happened to find a version 1 and it was complete when I bought it. I'm not a mint complete collector. I buy what I can at the time that I see it. If it's a decent price and I think I could add it to my collection to complete my collection, I'll get it. So that's why I got it. It's as simple as that. Other people, like my friend, he gets stuff. He's a mint box collector, mint package collector. He gets every variation. He's got more stuff than you could possibly imagine. If he was on all these videos, he could go into a lot more depth to a lot of this stuff because he has all of this stuff mint in package and all the file cards, all the indicia and packaging and all that stuff. So he knows way more about this stuff than I do. The history of it, not the classified history, but the vintage history. So that's where I get some of my information from as well. I'm still learning as a collector, even though I've been in this community for many, many, many years and a child collector. I'm still learning new things, and people that are experts in other areas are helping me. Dan Klingensmith, Carson Metaxas, my friend, and you guys in the chat teach me things all the time. So you have to be open-minded, and that's what this series is about. These reviews are about, is to be open-minded and to learn new things and to find out new things and to help your collecting, whether it be vintage, whether it be classified, or something in between. So hopefully it's helping you guys out. All right. So again, back to the Fang. So we've not got the Fang, but that's the beautiful rocket artwork. Looks really nice. I think they did a really good job with that, Shooting the Galaxy. And then we have the loadout with the figure with all his accessories and everything on there. And you're going to find up here, it says Edward Starduster Schuyler, which I find interesting that they keep giving these names. I don't know if they're on their file cards or not, because I'm not an expert file card guy, but I find it interesting that they're giving those names on there. And they're all funny names that seem like they're code names almost, like Schuyler. All right, let's get him out of his package and we'll get into this figure. There's some really fun homages with this figure that I think you guys are going to really like. All right, so we've got the Shooting the Galaxy. I'm not the Shooting, the Stars and Stripes artwork there because he's a Joe. And then there's a little thing inside the package, and this is really funny. I love this. The fact that the classified team did this shows that they're trying to have fun with this stuff. So then you have the Indicia and Gobbledygook, right? But look at that. Look at that little piece of artwork there. It's the Stars GI Joe Purina Stars cereal box with Starduster, a little miniature version of it. It has Starduster on one side, and then it has like a launching thing, like offer, like crossword on the other side, GI Joe crossword, which is just fantastic. That they went to the trouble to add this to the interior of the package, because that must not have been easy. And one of the things about this period, we've already gotten into two figures, and this is the third that's going to lead us to our 2024 HasLab, is Starduster is an aerial type character, and it's one of those characters people thought was going to be one of the unlocks for the HasLab of 2024. And when we get to that, I'll explain it. But I'm not going to talk about it right now. But the fact that this includes the Stars cereal, I just love that. I've been trying to find some of the Stars cereal boxes. I've seen them a few times at different conventions, but they're a little outside my price range, so I haven't gotten them. But I do want to get at least one. There's 6 variations. I don't think I'll ever get all 6, but I would like to get one, maybe a Starduster one or a Duke one or something like that. But one of these days I will get it. All right. So if you wanted to, you could take that cereal and put it together and pop it out and make it into a little box. And then you have the little box cereal. And then if you remember when they were doing the promotions for this and they were showing some of the photography for this, he's Starduster was an actor, and he was kind of portraying the Stars, GI Joe Stars cereal advertisements in those ads. And there's another one where he's like kicking a Cobra helmet and stuff like that. So the ads and the photography artwork for this figure was really, really fun. But he's an actor. He's not an actual GI Joe. He's an actor portraying a character in the GI Joe Stars cereal ads, which I thought, wow, how meta is that? Crop duster. Oh, that's funny. Lone Dragon, Crop Duster. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those figures that it's a give and a take. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people find it fascinating, some people don't. But I do think the Classified did a really good job with this figure. Sean Jones, thanks for joining us. Joe Bros. He's one of those catch-22 type situations, you know. I don't know how to explain it, but he's definitely not as bright. They use that teal coloring on those GI Joes from the 80s, but he's much more subdued, a much more lighter color palette than he is in the vintage one. Everybody's saying hello to everybody in the chat. So he doesn't have the teal. He's got more of a khaki blue, like you would find in like a game hunter type shirt. It's definitely a lighter color scheme than the other one. And the face print is really good on this. I like it a lot. I think they did a good job with that, making it unique, but also keeping it closer to that Flash and Short Fuse type face print and Zap face print. He's got a lot of Duke's body, the vintage Duke body. So that's another thing. So they did use that homage of reusing figure parts. So he uses heavily a lot of the Duke, vintage Duke retro package Duke body, and he's got the bandolier with the black grenade there. He's got the black belt with the that logo. He's got the secondary holster that's a khaki, light khaki sand color. He's got a different deco than he did on the vintage one, where it was just green with that that teal color. This has got 3 or 4 different colors. It's got a little darker green, a little lighter green, that grayish blue, and then regular gray in there. So they definitely gave it a much more better color palette, and I really am enjoying the paint apps and stuff, the balancing of the paint apps that they're doing with these figures. They're doing a really good job, and so the holster matches the bandolier there, and so that's a good color break as well. um, then there's that tampo, the US flag tampo, and then there's the that badge, that gold badge right there, that's silver, that they called out. So overall, he also has the green gloves, or the gray gloves that kind of have the hanging part that slouch down a little bit. Overall, I think they did a really nice job with the balance of color on this, and with the face print and the homage of the character overall. Let's get into a little bit of his accessories, because that's where we're really going to have some fun with some of these accessories. So the first one I'm going to call out is the helmet. Like the vintage one, he has the visor and that star on there, because it was Star Cereal, GI Joe Star Cereal, and it's a darker color. It kind of matches the pant color with that grayish blue. Put that over there. And then, of course, because he's a rocket soldier, they've been doing this with a lot of the figures, which I enjoy a lot of these, is the steel core helmet. They're using this steel core head, and there's some beautiful deco on there. Different shades of blue on the visor, some grays, some silvers, some blues, that grayish blue. I really, really like these decoed steel core helmets. They do an excellent job with them. And I think they really stand out. So it makes sense, if you wanted to upgrade him to a more modern aesthetic, you can use this helmet instead of the vintage helmet. But to call back to the vintage one, you can use the vintage one as well. So then we have the rocket pack itself. Now, I don't think we've gotten this rocket pack with any other figure. I don't think the classified line has given this to anybody. I don't think Duke, Airborne, or Stalker, who are the 3 people that usually use this, came with it. So this is the very first version of this backpack, this rocket pack, in the classified line. I don't think anybody has this. And there's some deco on it. It has the star, again, call out to the cereal, and it has a little bit of black with those tubes and those ventilation parts, and it's like a darker green that is a callback to that green in the camouflage, one of the darker greens on the pants. So I think it looks really nice on Starduster, and it just adds to my argument of the color breaks that they're doing. The team that's doing the coloring of these figures and the painting of this stuff is really doing an outstanding job, in my opinion. So I'm putting this in here. It's got to go through the bandolier into the back. So it has to go into 2 parts. So I think I'm going to use the vintage helmet to call back to the vintage version. I'm going to put that on him there. There. And he's got his visor. So I have a backpack on him, and I have his helmet on him to start. So he also has a knife sheath on his left leg to match the holster on his right thigh and the bandolier. So all that sandy colored items all match. So his articulation points are as thus. He's got the butterflied shoulders. He's got the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees. He's got the foot rocker, the ankle articulation. He's got the wrist articulation, the thigh and calf articulation. He's got the crotch leg articulation. He's got the ab crunch, and he also has the head rocker, the new head rocker articulation there. Now, one of the things one of the guys mentioned about the road pig in the last video, is they wish that his head could go up so you could have him in that looking up way. So I would have liked to have had this head be a little bit more articulated, so you could do that, because he is a rocket trooper and his head should be up farther when he's going forward like that, flying. It should go farther up. So that's a point of articulation. I think he should have had a little bit more in that. If you look at him like that, it should be faced up a little bit better. But it is what it is, and we got what we got, and we just gotta have to accept it for now. So let's see, what else do we have? We have some rocket effects, which I think we've seen these rocket effects a couple different times with different other figures. So we're gonna put these rocket effects with the cloud burst on the end, and that, like that. There's two of them, and we're gonna put those on the rockets because I think it's cool to have that effect on there. It makes him look like he's flying better. So we're gonna stick those in there, doot, there, and there, there, there. So there, now you can see that rocket effect on there. So he looks like he can fly better. There. So then let's get into some of his other accessories. So he has binoculars. Because he's a Vanguard, he's always looking, reconning. And so they gave him a set of binoculars that we've gotten several times. Hey, Brandon. Hey, all. Lone Dragon. Lone Dragon looks like he can set his pants on fire. Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, it was always rumored that was a joke in the vintage one, but I guess his pants are treated with a certain like wax material or something that prevents it from catching fire. Is the predominant thought process. But the fact that you can move his feet like that and have the flight angle with the rockers there, I like that a lot. So hopefully it doesn't catch his pants on fire. Um, but we'll see. So there, we're gonna put those goggles on him there. Um, then we'll see what else we got. We got a lot of accessories. So we have his knife that will go into that knife sheath there. The vintage one, I think, had the knife sculpted on. Make sure. He has the revolver and he has the knife on the pant legs on both sides. So he did have those. So the knife, but they moved where they put the knife. They're putting the knife in the left boot sheath there instead. And it has a little silver and black deco. There. Oops. Weapons are a little soft still. So there, I got that in there. Let's see what else. We have his revolver, which will put that on his right thigh holster. We've seen this revolver a bunch of different times. It's no different. There's some nice detail in it, but it's the same revolver we've seen a bunch of different times. Put that in there. There. Then we have his grenade launcher that he came with the vintage figure, and they changed this up a little bit. Let's see. Brandon, I skipped this figure. I can see why you would skip it, but if you want all the numbers for those people that have the FOMO on the numbers, I guess you would need to get it. It's a fun figure. I think they did a really good job updating it. Hey, buddy. And Autolite his farts. Yeah, there you go. Ha! That's funny. Brandon was covered, wax covered pants. LOL. I'll be sure to tell the Chief at work to add that to my bunker gear. LOL. Birthday candle technology. Why didn't I think of that? I love science fiction sometimes. Yeah, it's wild. You're not a completist, Brandon. That's fine. Everybody collects the way that they want. You're entitled to do that. So this is the grenade launcher. So there's a little bit of deco in there. So there's some steel deco, there's some darker steel deco, there's some black. They gave 2 or 3 different deco hits on this to make it more realistic and make it more modern. But it is your typical grenade launcher. I'm going to give that to him since that was what he had in the vintage one. I'm going to give him that in his hand as he's flying around. He's shooting at cobras and stuff like that, and those fangs that are flying behind him. There. There. So then he comes with another gun, and this is a traditional, what is referred to as the Sunbow Snow Job gun, and it's only black, but it's a really cool gun. I like the fact that they're doing redecos of it, and they're giving us different variations of the gun. We probably won't use that on him, but it's fine. Let's see. I actually love some of the wackier stuff, just not into space. Joe, not my idea of what G.I. Joe is at all. I see. I understand, Brandon. Everybody has their way that they play and their patterns of play and collecting and stuff like that. And if you don't like space and you don't like that sort of stuff, that's fine. Not everybody's going to collect the same way, and that's the cool thing about collecting and the way that everybody is unique. So then he comes with 2 sets of hands. So he's got a punch, another punching fist, a gripping hand there. So I may end up changing one of these hands out. This gripping hand I might end up using instead of one of the hands that he's got on him. So we've got 2 more sets of hands. So there's one. And it has the articulation where you can bend it. And then he has the pointing finger fist, which I think he has in the cereal ad. It has him pointing like this, and that's what this one is, the pointy finger one. So I may switch it to that because he's flying and he's being really fun with it. And then we have another punching hand there. So we have 3 sets of hands all together with him. So I may switch out one of these hands, like this hand, this gripping hand I might take off, and I might put the pointy finger hand on there instead. To kind of interpret that more serial. Oops, it's the wrong hand. In order to, now I have to switch his gun around. Let's see. So I have to take his gun out of this hand. Yeah. Take this hand off. Put this hand on to get the pointy finger, and then put this gripping hand back on, and then put the gun back in that one. There. And then let's see. Having a hard time putting that gun back in this hand. Hold on. Give me a second here. There it is. All right. I got it in there. Whew. Took me a minute. Oh, it came back out. There. All right. So we have the gun in there. We have the rockets. We have the pointy finger. So let's see. I'm gonna do that like that. Um, got his head. I want to turn his head up like that. Kind of like that. So that's all the accessories. And so you end up with there. Let's see. Let's see. Wax cover pants. Oh, I'll be sure. I saw that one. Uh, okay. So I've seen most of us. 610 610 Yojo Daddy. Hey Dave, Chris McLeod just dropped an Instagram post of pics of a possible G.I. Joe TMNT crossover. If they are real, as he stated, they look amazing. Oh, they're gonna do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, I figured they might do that because they're doing Transformer TMNT, so I thought maybe they might do that as well. I'll look into it and find out about it. Thank you very much, 610 Yojo Daddy. I do try to keep up with all Full Force socials because he's up on a lot of this stuff. So there's your Starduster. I'm Starduster, and if you want to be in the forefront of G.I. Joe, you have to get Stars, G.I. Joe Stars cereal. Yay! Yay! Wow! Right? Am I a good actor? Maybe not. You can have his that's one of the figures that the ab crunch really helps because it's like wee uh yeah, I think that's the one issue I have with this is that the head doesn't have a bigger swivel on it. But it looks really cool. I like it. I think they did a really good job updating this. What do you guys think? Do you think they did a good job updating it? For those of you that did get it, um, he was not a difficult figure to find. He was on Pulse for a while. He still may be on there. Fairy Duster. Lone Dragon, Fairy Duster. Oh man, you're funny. Uh, but I don't know. It's unique, it's different. It's like somebody said earlier, they like some of the unique stuff. I do like the unique stuff that Classified is doing with the line. Even though I didn't care for the character as a child, as a vintage collector and stuff like that, and I have a kind of a, a give and take when it comes to the character as part of the lore and everything. I think they did a good job with this. I think it stands up as a really nice figure, and they did those homages and they had fun with it. And we got to have a little bit of fun with this. It can't just be serious business all the time. It is toys after all, right? So I think we can enjoy this a little bit. What do you guys think? You think uh, correct on that, or what? But I bet this would look really good with some photography artwork and some diorama artwork and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've got to find a better stand because my stand that I have is just a standing stand, and I want a stand that's like one of these stands. If you look back here, I got these stands for my steel core back here, and it makes them look like they're flying. So I want to get another stand like that for Starduster, and I'll probably put Starduster over here with my Sky Striker display because I think he deserves to be in a flying position. So I'll look into that. The figure looks like a quality piece, just as I say, space just isn't for me. Right. I understand, Brandon. Uh, I bought a second sale cast. I bought a second one on a sale last week. Oh, cool, Sean Jones. There you go. Brandon, I like the jetpacks. I like the steel core, so don't see a need for the Starduster. Ah, I gotcha. No problem. Um, So I would be, I guess I was mistaken in my thought process about the rocket pack, because the Steel Core had the rocket pack not too long ago. We got that recently, and they both have the rocket pack, so it makes sense that they would give the same rocket pack to Starduster. So I made a mistake on that. So thankfully, I caught myself on the video itself. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get a stand. I'm gonna have him flying over there with my Steel Core guys. Um, but yeah, I think he did. I think they did a good job with it. I think it holds up as a really nice figure. So let's see. Our next one is going to be a little bit. We're jumping ahead because we already did the next one. We did a vehicle, Tiger Force, the Tiger Force Tiger Paw with wreckage, and we did that in our 250th episode anniversary and our 200 subs anniversary episode. So if you want to see that review and you want to see me and 610 Yojo Daddy talk about our top 10 favorite vehicles of all time, then you can go on the library of episodes and find that episode, and you can watch it. It's a very long episode. It's like 2.5 hours, because we do talk about a lot of stuff in that. So I was skipping over number 137, and we're going to go to 138, which is another redeco 2-pack that we're going to cover. So let's see. Yep, got me a couple of those Steel Core packs. Look great on Duke, and Steel Core are my green shirts, not the actual green shirts. Ah, I see, Brandon. That's a really nice way to look at it and play with these and have fun with them. Um, I'll check it out. Yeah, so that is the 137 review, and then 138 is going to be a redeco, a 2-pack redeco, and an exclusive from Walmart. So hopefully that gives you enough clues to figure out what our next video will be, and that will be 138 again. So I appreciate you guys joining me on this deep dive into Starduster. There's a lot of history with this character. I have a lot of history with this character, positive and negative. But overall, I think this is a very nice quality figure. I think the Classified did a good job. I would give it around a 7-8 in the range, the top 10 range. Not obviously perfect, because the head, and stuff like that, and some of the accessories. There's no crate or anything to go with all these accessories, and you know how I like to have all my accessories put someplace. So I'll give it around a 7-8 on the rankings as a cool figure and stuff like that. And I will get a display stand that I can put them back there. So when I get that, you guys, I'll show it off next time I have that up there. Shipping pull from BBTS, getting first action sniper and first 2 regular Techno Vipers. The 60th anniversary sniper and the Techno Vipers. You're just getting those from Big Bad Toy Store right now. Wow. What has taken these people so long? It's taken them a long time to get like the dial tones. It's taken a long time to get the Arctic bats. Now you're just now getting the sniper and the Techno Vipers. Techno Viper came out in like 2023, didn't it? Why? What has taken so long? Uh, Good pull, Lone Dragon. Wow, that seems like there's something going on with Big Bad Toy Store Entertainment Earth. It's taken them forever to get some of this stuff. Oh, you waited for them to go on sale. I see. I was going to say, there have been a lot of good sales recently. You're right. Over the Christmas holiday, there's been a lot of excellent sales to buy a lot of older stuff. So, yeah, I think that's a good way to get this stuff. If you're not a completist and you're willing to wait and have patience, I think that's a good way to go. Pile of loot, right, Lone Dragon? Yeah. Yep. Good call. Yeah, I think that's a good call, especially if you're getting multiples and stuff like that. I try to buy it when it's solicited because I want to support the brand and make sure it's strong and stuff. Me and Woody both have that in common where we try to get those. Yeah, the Sniper, $21. That's excellent. And 16.89 for each of the Techno Viper. Wow. I might go and get me some Techno Vipers because that's my one of my all-time favorite troop builders, right next to my Crimson Guards. I love that. That's me. Some of my favorites. Techno Vipers are the vintage deco version, and I've heard that there might be a retro version of the Techno Viper coming out down the road as a retro package version. So I don't know, but overall, I think they've done a really good job. I will look into that GI Joe TMNT crossover that 610 Yojo Daddy shared with us. But anything else you guys want to add about Starduster or any of the Star cereal or this whole mail order scenario that he was in and the Hasbro Directs? There was a lot of interesting things with Hasbro Directs that they did that I really liked. Oh, and 16.89 for my Hector Ramirez head that comes with an Iron Man suit accessory. Oh wow! Oh, you got the Iron Man that has the extra head, Tony Stark head, and it's like the perfect head for Hector Ramirez. I catch that. I got you there, Lone Dragon. That's really good too. Now I just need a news mic for him. I'm sure there's probably some with Gridiron or Ramen or any of those third party people that do accessories. There's probably some mics because I think somebody did some accessories for Sergeant Slaughter, so they might have stuff like that. Let's see. Need to do a POC retro package Televiper with the traffic. That's a good one, Michael Gene Fleming. Oh man, you guys are funny today. Techno, not Televiper. Oh, okay. Yeah, they definitely need to do the Techno Viper again because that is like one of the best figures. It looks so awesome. There's so much different gear and there's a lot of vehicles. So you can use those Techno Vipers in different places with different vehicles. We got the Techno Viper, the HMS, we've got Rattlers, we've got Claws, we've got armor bots, snake armors. We got a lot of ferrets, all kinds of um, um, trouble bubbles. We got a lot of vehicles that you can do a lot of photography and stuff like that with those Techno Vipers. Hey, Super Dave and chat, super busy this morning at work. Hey, no problem, Woody. I understand. I completely understand. You watch this after the fact if you have to. It's okay. Replay crew, hashtag replay crew in the house. I bet I have an April O'Neil figure with a news mic. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Thinking outside the box, helping each other out, coming up with ideas. Replay squad later. Yep, exactly. Woody, yeah. Um, we still gain. We still gain to Joe. Yeah, we're still gonna go to Joe Fest. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Yo, Lone Dragon. There you go. So how many of these did you get, Woody? I'm sorry if you're busy. See if you can answer this. How many Stardusters did you get as you were going? Because I'm curious. Because you get like so many of every figure. And I'm curious how many you got. Have a good one, Woody. Yep, I'll be there, Lone Dragon. There you go. I'm curious, Woody. How many of those did you get, Stardusters? Because I'm sure you can use these rocket packs on lots of other people. Oh, he says he needs a ride. He needs a ride. And Woody says 6 Stardusters. Ah, very cool. And then Lone Dragon and a floor to sleep on. Oh boy, that's the cool thing. I remember going to conventions when I was younger. I used to do a lot of comic conventions in the 90s and the early 2000s and stuff. And my friends and I would carpool and we'd go to conventions and we'd share like 3 or 4 of us in a room, and we never had any problems. It was fun. Um, Dad and I will be at Joe Fest. Tickets purchased and hotel room reserved. Great, Michael G. Fleming. I look forward to seeing you again. It was really cool hanging out with you a little bit. I was running around a lot, so I didn't get to see you that much. But the times that I did, I was very happy to hang out with you and talk to you and your father, actually. Um, and Lone Dragon, I can pay with gas and grass. Funny. Oh man, don't get us in trouble. Lone Dragon. We'll talk, Lone Dragon. Oh man, you guys are really making me laugh today. So there's your Starduster. So look forward to our next episode. Um, and since this is a really big GI Joe episode, we're gonna go with uh, Yo GI Joe stars! Yay! We'll see you guys in the next one. You didn't get Crop Duster, but you'd buy one and discount for customs. I will probably never do. Oh, thanks for the show, Dave. Oh, wow. Thanks for the show. Great fig. Oh, see, Woody likes it. There you go. All right, everybody. Take care, and we will see you in the next one.